So working on two-dimensional shapes versus three-dimensional shapes today. Here's what the primer product should look like. We have our two-dimensional shapes, as we all know. We have the three-dimensional sort of counterparts to that. So that's what we're going to explore today, okay? So I've already written two-dimensional shapes, and as I go through here, if I go too fast, just, the video is kind of nice. You can pause it whenever you need to and go from there. So I'm going to triangle first. And each shape has a different kind of strategy to it. And most deals with like symmetry. So for the triangle, I'm going to draw a line going horizontally like that. I'm going to draw a center line also going up. Now a center line basically marks the middle of the shape. So these two sides should be the same in order to get symmetry. So you have one side here, and kind of look for yourself. If these two sides don't match up, erase and fix, okay? Next one, the circle. A lot of students have a hard time drawing a circle, but good strategy for that is to draw a cross. I'm gonna try and make sure the cross has points, or I should say arms that are all roughly the same length. So imagine like a small pizza. So each slice of pizza gets a curved shape to it. So you kind of just follow that around. So you get all the 4 quarters filled in. And I'm drawing a little bit darker, but kind of golden rule for this is just to draw right till you get it right. So I'm kind of analyzing it here. It seems like I have a little bit too much on the side, so I can go back in and fix. But other than that, it looks pretty good. Analyze your own. If it needs adjustment, just pause the video and get it till you think it looks right, okay? Next up is our square. Square can also be starting off as a cross. It also has 4 sections to it. So we have our sides, our top and bottom. And our goal here is for all these 4 sides to match up. And mine is off a bit, so I can make that adjustment. Okay, so all 4 sides pretty much match up, and that is my square. Last one is rectangle, and that can be seen as an X that is sort of long like this. Once again, think about the arms, think about the spaces on the top and bottom, and sides should match up, okay? Applying a top, bottom, okay, and the sides. All right, so those are two-dimensional shapes. Those are fairly easy. So we're gonna move on to our three-dimensional shape. First up is a cone. So a cone has, at the bottom, what's called an ellipse. So ellipse is like a circle in 3D. And think about a tire. If you turn that in space, okay, as it rotated, you would see less and less of the circle, and you would see more of like an oval-like kind of shape. That's what an ellipse is. So we're gonna start with an ellipse. And so that's probably too big for what I need to do. I run out of paper. So something like that, an ellipse. And in that ellipse, we're going to put an X. Okay, and the X is going to show us where the middle is. And from the middle, we're going to put a line coming up straight. Okay. So ellipse, line up straight, and then from these 2 sides, we're going to connect in. Okay. Once again, looking for symmetry. If you're finding that these 2 are okay, about the same amount of space in here and here, we're going to go ahead and darken up the parts that are good to go. Okay. Make an adjustment there. Okay. Now typically you would erase out these parts in here, but we're just kind of practicing it for right now, so that's perfectly fine. I think the most important thing is that it's curved on the bottom, okay? So a cone isn't necessarily always straight up and down. It can rotate in space. In this case, we're kind of make-believing it sort of fall over. So you see how it's kind of tilted like this, okay? So in this instance, we're going to draw the ellipse going like this, and putting an X through there. Okay. Once again, the purpose of the X is to find that middle. So the middle is going to slant down like this, as if this thing sort of fell over. Same idea, we're just matching up the corners with the top. Okay, something like this. And we are going to do a bit of erasing on this one because we can actually see in real life if this was tipped over like this, we'd be able to see the bottom of it. Okay. What artists do often when they want to show three-dimensional qualities is they'll shade a portion of the object to show that this has 3 dimensions. Okay, so that is our other cone. Go ahead and write the word cone underneath. Okay, we're going to move on to our cylinder. So our cylinder has an ellipse also, has ellipse on the bottom. Okay, something like this. And for my example, it has an ellipse on the top and the bottom. Okay, so we're going to do the X again to find the middle. Do our center line coming up. That determines the height. However far you draw that line is the height of the cylinder. And another ellipse to match this one. So we're going to come in with an X and basically just match up these 2 sides. Okay. Once again, the most important part is my cylinder is curved. At the bottom, it's kind of the whole point. I'm drawing in that ellipse and curved at the top. Okay. All right, similarly, I'm going to draw that cone as if it fell over, and sort of longer also to sort of show more depth. So this time we're going to draw an ellipse that's a little more like a circle. Okay. X marks the spot here, trying to find the center. And our cylinder is going away from us on an angle like this, okay? So whatever angle it's going at, if it's going any way, that's where your center line goes, okay? So you're going to point it away from the cylinder, wherever you think it stops. Now the further out it goes, the smaller the ellipse on the opposite side, because it's showing like depth, okay? So we're gonna say it's going out pretty far. Okay, so a nice little circle-like ellipse. Okay, so I have a circle or ellipse here and ellipse here. And once again, connect the edges. Okay. And we can go ahead and strengthen those lines once we see it's correct. If it's not correct, it's fine. Just pause the video, grab your eraser or the eraser on the back of your pencil, make those adjustments. I'm going to erase out the front here. I'm going to erase 2 things in this one. I'm going to erase out the front, pretty much all the interior lines, because it does get confusing if you have all these extra lines in here, especially on this cylinder in any case. So, and we're going to add those shading lines into our cylinder as well. Okay. And go ahead and write the word cylinder underneath. All right. So for our next shape is our sphere. Okay, so for our sphere, getting back to our circle, we just had a cross, right? But a sphere, it has 3-dimensional qualities to it. Okay. So instead of a cross, we don't have 2 ellipses instead. So we have an ellipse going this way. Okay. And ellipse going the opposite direction. So it's the same sort of formation of a cross, but it's showing this curve coming around here and this curve coming around here. Same way as a circle, we're going to sort of match these up with a curve. Okay. So the idea is just get it close as you can. All right, so mine's pretty good. Erase out any kind of little issues here. Now, in order to avoid confusion, we're going to erase a couple of lines, okay? So imagine as this ellipse comes back, we're going to erase the back of the ellipse line here. So coming into there like this. So it's just showing this curve. That's showing the roundness of the sphere going this way. We're going to erase the back of this ellipse here, okay? So just showing the curve coming here and the curve coming here. So that's our sphere. Go ahead and label it as such. So sphere. Okay, next up is our rectangular prism. And this is all about parallels. So thinking about just drawing a base first. So we have parallel line, parallel to the side of the paper coming over, okay? So this is our side and bottom we're doing right now. And it's all made out of parallel lines, and I'll explain that as we go through it. Okay, so this is our side and our bottom. So the top, here to here, is going to be the same horizontal parallel, here to here. These two are parallel, here to here. Okay, once you have that done, looking at these side angles coming out here. So whatever angle you think is going up at is like this. Okay, this has to happen. If this happens here, it has to happen over here. Okay, so these two are parallel, and the front and back are parallel. You actually put your pencil down your paper and sort of hold it against that line, just move it back in space. It's just that same line, okay? So basically everything across from each other is parallels. Similarly, this line in the front has to be the same line as in the back. Once you get on the side of paper, it's completely vertical, moving back, here to here, and these two are verticals, okay? So that's your rectangular prism. And last we have our diamond, and our not diamond, I apologize, our pyramid, but let's start out as a diamond. So here's our pyramid right here, okay? And we're going to draw a diamond to start that off. Okay. Once you got your diamond, you're going to draw across the middle of the diamond. That's the base. The top is going to be a line from the middle here, going straight up, okay? And these are the sides, this corner here, this corner here. So here and here, okay? Now this looks really confusing, so my best suggestion is to sort of erase out these lines. And what you're left with is a pyramid. And finally, if our pyramid sort of fell over, it's on its side, we have another diamond shape right here. Okay, across to the middle. Sorry, like this. Extends out, and we have our sides like this. Okay, so those are our three-dimensional shapes. So that was just the basic demo. As you go into Google Classroom, you're going to see an assignment. So basically there's a slideshow, and there's directions in the slideshow. Basically you're going to get practice drawing these shapes, but they have specific like sizes to them, and you're going to draw those from different angles. But all the directions are in the slideshow. If you have any questions or need further help, please see me in a student session, or student support session, I apologize, AM or PM. That link is always in the weekly agenda. All right, thanks.